Howdy, this is Michael Shilman, one of the Storybook maintainers, and I'm going to take you through a Storybook Docs prototype. We're going to be writing MDX, which allows us to combine Markdown and JSX, and we'll be documenting the Victory component library. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to declare our component, and this is equivalent to the stories of declaration in Storybook that you might be familiar with. And next, we're going to write a story. And so we just put down a story tag, and we can see when we go into Storybook, there's the story. So what actually happens under the hood is that this story gets converted into a new format called the docs module format. And all this is just an exporting a function that's a component. And that way, these stories are more portable, so you can just import them into your test code, for example. And this module format is equivalent to the stories of add that you might be familiar with in Storybook. And so this is just creating a story internally. Of course, we can add more stories, and when we add a story, it updates the UI. So we've created a little fancier one here called Fancy. And there's the story, and we go back and we'll add a third story now, and this story will actually use the actions add-on. Boom. So now we have an interactive story, and we can click around and we can see on the bottom that the actions are actually getting triggered. And of course, as we're doing all this, we're creating long-form documentation, and that shows up in a new tab called the Docs tab. And when we click on that, we see all of this markdown that we've created. Can use some styling, and this is still very rough, but that's just a full document of all of these components and all the states. And it updates when we edit the file. Got some scroll issues here. Now, let's see what else we can do. We can create some React components because this is MDX. And so now we're putting in this Victory error bar component, but it's not showing up as a story because we didn't wrap it in the story. And we can also refer to other stories using the preview component. So we take the ID of the existing story, and we see this little button down here, and then we can go up and navigate to the story that we referred to. That's the with icons story. And that's the end of the tour. If you'd like to find out more info, we've documented all this in a Storybook Docs RFC, and we'd love your feedback to help make this better.